Hello everybody, it's Wendy. So today I am working with some seashells. And I thought I would just invite you into my beading studio to bead with me a little bit. So what do y'all think of these earrings? They are very dangly and they're made with real seashells. And I think they're really cute. They're elegant. I like the Coriana chain, of course. So yeah, I'm going to make another pair of these and a couple other pairs of seashell earrings. So if you're interested in learning how to do that, then I'll tell you what you need for this project. So we'll start with this pair. I'm going to make a gold pair. So I think these are so cute. And on the inside, there's a little pearl in there, if you can see that. So yeah, I think they're really cute and different. And people seem to really like the seashell jewelry. So let me lay these back behind us. And I'm going to pull over here the stuff for the gold pair. So you're going to need a couple of seashells. Now, you can use anything really, any type of seashell that you want. These are actually seashells that I picked up on the beach here in North Carolina. And I've painted them with clear nail polish. So if you notice my hands today look terrible, well, I've been painting with clear nail polish and gluing and doing all kinds of stuff. So please ignore my terrible looking hands. But I've painted these with clear nail polish, and then I've used this hand drill to drill the little holes in the top. Now these are fragile. These are they're real thin, so you have to be careful. If you can see, this hole here cracked a little, and so I'm going to glue a couple of bead caps on them. So you need your shells, you need your whatever ear wires that you want to use, and I'm using these gold fish hooks. Okay, you're going to need, I'm using a couple of gold pearls. I'm using, like I said, some bead caps. Those are to glue on here, and then I've got some smaller ones for the pearls. You're going to need some jump rings. You're going to need these little, what are these? Clamshells. Could not think of the name of them. These little clamshells are what, actually, I don't know that I'm going to use these clamshells. Probably am not. Well, wait, no, yeah, I am actually. Okay. Well, I don't know. We'll see. I may. I'm sorry. It's like, I don't know. I may use these, and I may use these ribbon ends, just depending on how it turns out. So I think I'm probably going to end up using the ribbon ends because I don't think that 2 of these chains are going to fit in this tiny clamshell, but we will see. I've got them just in case. You're going to need crimp beads. You're going to need a fairly large crimp bead because you're going to have to put 2 chains in one, and then you're going to need 4 small ones for the ends of your chains. You're going to need some E6000 glue, and I think that that's about it. One other thing that you may want to have, if you want to do the little pearl inside, like I did on this one. See how I did the little pearl inside there? If you want to do that, you'll need a little tiny pearl or a spacer bead or whatever you might have that would match. You could use a bicone, you could use anything. I'm actually going to use a gold spacer bead, I think. I thought I was going to use that little pearl right there, but it doesn't really match. So let me pull out a gold spacer bead, and I think I'll use a gold spacer bead. I think that'll look better. So it just kind of gives the inside a little bit of a decorative touch. So I don't know, I like to do stuff like that. So there we have those. And that, besides your cutters and your normal jewelry tools, I think that's all you're going to need for this first one. So if you want to paint your seashells, you can. Let me show you the difference between a painted one and a non-painted one. Okay, so this is a non-painted one. It's just kind of got a matte finish to it, and this is the painted one with clear nail polish. And I just feel like when you paint them with the nail polish, it makes them look so much prettier. It makes them look like they're in the water. You know how when you're walking along the beach and you pick up these shells and they're laying in the water and they're so pretty, and then you get them home and you're like, oh, that's not as pretty as I thought it was. Well, if you paint it with clear nail polish, it goes back to that wet look, and it's really pretty. So that's why I do that. I just feel like it makes it look a lot prettier. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. So if you paint your shells, and then we're going to glue, I'm going to glue these bead caps on, because like I said, that hole cracked a little and it makes it a lot more secure, and I won't worry about it coming apart, you know, or breaking. Now these are fragile, I've got to say. You know, if a little girl, I do some here in a little bit that a little girl could wear, and they're very tiny, but you just, if you're selling these at a craft show or something, you may want to warn the parent that buys them if they buy them for the little girls. I always tell them these are very, very fragile. So, you know, if your little girl is like rambunctious, like I was as a little girl, then probably not going to be the best pair of earrings for her unless you put them up and, you know, only let her have them supervised, because they are really fragile. These break real easy. They're seashells. All right, let me put this one on here. Okay, so you want to try not to get your glue over the hole if you can. If you do, it's not a huge deal, but it's better if you don't. So let's let that dry for just a second. And while we're letting that dry, I have my Coriana chain cut in 2 different lengths. There's a longer length and a shorter length because I like to make these staggered a little. I just think it makes them hang prettier. So I'm going to put the seashell on my longer length and the pearl on my shorter length. So I'm going to go ahead and put one of my smaller crimp beads on the end of my chain. And I'm sorry, I'm trying very hard to stay on frame. Oops. And let me get my glasses. I'm sorry, guys. Like I said, this is kind of a fly by the seat of the pants episode. I'm just crafting in my bead room here. I'm going to make this seashell jewelry today, and then I'm going to go outside because it's nice and sunny, and I'm going to take pictures of a bunch of stuff and try to get it all uploaded onto the website. I've got to get that done. I've been putting it off and putting it off because I hate doing it. It's a pain, but I've got to do it. So that has got to happen. All right, so then I'm going to use my bead caps here. Let me put the bead cap on this chain, put the pearl on, and the other bead cap. Okay, and there's what that looks like. And we're just going to set that one aside and do the other one the same exact way. I've got fuzz on my fingers from my beading mat here. I mean, I've had glue on me, I've had nail polish on me this morning. I have been just a mess. But that's the nature of crafting. Let's put this one on. I gotta say, these little leaf bead caps right here, I know you can find these everywhere. They are my absolutely favorite bead cap. Because I'm real picky about bead caps. I don't like them to make the bead look like it's got a hat on, or I don't know how to even say that, but I'm real picky about them. And these fit every bead pretty much, and they look pretty, they look classy. So yeah, these are my favorite bead caps out of all the ones that I use. Okay, so there we have those 2. Now we want to go ahead and put our longer ones together. So let me grab 2 more of my smaller crimps, and I'm going to crimp the bottom of this. You can put crimp bead covers on these if you want to. If you did that, you probably, you know, maybe wouldn't even need the little pearl or the little bead inside, but I don't usually fool with the crimp bead covers a whole lot. I don't know. I just don't think that the crimp looks that bad, but, you know, when you put another bead on there, I feel like it looks okay. So I don't usually fool with the crimp bead covers unless it's something really obvious that needs it. Okay, so there you have that. I'm going to do the other one, and then we're going to put them on the shells. This fuzz is going to drive me insane on my fingers. I also think that the little bead on the inside just gives it that special little detail. The little details mean so much in your jewelry. I remember one time when I was real little, I don't know, I was probably 8 maybe, or 9, something like that. We went to the Dogwood Festival in our town where we lived, and there were all these arts and crafts vendors there. And this lady was selling these little eggshells. They were, it was like a full eggshell, but it had been cleaned out and it had a round hole in the front, like an oval shaped hole. The whole front of it was like out and you could see inside. And she had put these little scenes in there, like, I don't even know how she did it. She painted in there, I guess, or whatever, little scenes. And I went nuts over those things. They were so pretty and so cute. I just pulled that pearl off. And I wanted it so bad. And I remember my mom was like, you will break that in the first 5 minutes that you have it. Because I'm not graceful now. I've never been a rough child. I mean, I was climbing trees and playing in the creek. And yeah, I was not a very girly little girl. And I was like, oh, please. So she got it for me. And I did have it for several years, and I don't even know what happened to it, but I remember I loved that thing. It had all this detail in it, and it just was so pretty. But anyway, the detail that you add really makes a difference. Okay, so we're going to take this, and we've got our bead on the end, and we're just going to insert it up through the bead cap and the shell gently. Okay, we're going to do that on both of them. Insert it up through the shell and the bead cap. And I paint both the inside and the outside of my shells with the clear nail polish. Oh, come on, get in there. There's always got to be one that's difficult. Okay, so there we have that. Now, this is the part where it gets a little fiddly, but we can do it. So we're going to take these beads and bead caps keep falling off here. Okay. So we're going to take them and put them together right like this. You want them to lay side by side, the chains, and you want them to mirror each other. So if this pearl is on the outside on this one, it needs to be on the outside on this one. And you need to make sure they're hanging facing the correct way, like you don't want this one flipped over. So just be careful of that when you're doing this. Okay, so I was going to use the crimps for this, but I think I'm not going to. I'm just going to use the ribbon end. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some glue and take this ribbon end and just put some glue in here like this. I'm going to do that with both of them. Just put a little glue in there. Then I'm going to lay both of these chains. Now I'm going to flip this over because I want the seam on the ribbon end to be on the back side. I don't want it to be on the front side of my shell, okay? So I'm going to flip the shell over and put the back side in this ribbon end. This gets tricky, but we can do it. So I'll just take this one first, and now my pearl has come off its thing. Okay, I'm going to lay it right in here, and you can take your toothpick and lay it down. Let me look out the window just a minute. Okay, sorry. Our neighbors are having work done, like landscaping done. So there's a bunch of landscape trucks out there, and then FedEx just pulled up, and Sadie's losing her mind downstairs, barking her head off. But I wanted to make sure it wasn't the mailman because I've got packages going out in the mail today, and he's picking them up. So I needed to make sure that, because if it was him, I would have walked outside. So okay, so there's that. Now I'm going to let that sit there for a minute because number one, it's very fragile and it needs to kind of dry before I try to close it. So I'm going to put the other one in. We're going to put this one in first, and I'm sorry if my hand is in the way, but there's really no other way to do this other than have my hand in the way. Okay, and I hit the camera. Okay, let's put this one here. Make sure it's facing the right way. Lay it right down in the glue there. So they should be laying side by side. If you care that your seam is on the back, then it should be facing the back of your shell, and they should be just laying side by side and kind of pushed down in there. Okay, so we are going to leave this one for just a few minutes. We're going to set it aside and let these dry just a bit before I try to close them. So let me move that out of the way. Okie dokie. All right, so the next pair we're going to do is this little pair right here. And this one, I've got some antique silver fish hooks. I've got a couple pieces of chain. I've got my 2 little shells that I have drilled through the top and painted both the front and the back. And I've got a couple of little charms here. Okay, well, these are going to be really easy. And you're going to need a head pin. A couple of head pins, I'm sorry. Okay. I keep them in a drawer beside me, so I don't really pay attention. And actually, I may put a couple of little silver spacer beads on the end of this as well. And I'm sorry, guys, I have a lot of this stuff laid out already. I'm sort of prepared, but this is how I work. I mean, I just look at things and I may switch it up. I may do something different. So, yeah, that's how I work. And you're just along for the ride today. It's kind of like you're just sitting in here with me, so that's how I'm doing it today. I really want bright silver, if I can find something bright silver to put on the end of this. I know I have some bright silver metal beads, but where the heck are they? Do I have them out already? Yes. No wonder I can't find them. They're out. Alright, so here they are. So I'm just going to grab a couple of the bright silver ones out of here, and I'm trying to find, like, I do have some smaller ones and some bigger ones, so let me try to grab 2 of the bigger ones. There's 1, there's 2. Okay. Now, this part you have to be real careful when you do, okay? Because we're going to put an eye pin through the shell and then make a loop. So you it'd be good if you had a thinner eye pin, okay? We're going to put the spacer bead on first, just down at the bottom. We're going to stick the eye pin up through the shell, just like this, so that's what we have. And we're going to form a loop. Now, you do want to be kind of careful because the eye pin will break the shell. So I try to just hold it. I try actually to push it down just a tad and hold it here on the bottom. Hold the eye pin so the shell just kind of floats on here. It's not, it's kind of out of the way, just floating. Okay. And I bend it at the 90-degree angle, just like that. If you protect the shell right there, then it should be okay. And then I'm gonna roll this loop back, get it off. Again, try to protect your shell so it's not pushing against it. And I'm going to roll the loop back. Just try to be real careful because you don't want to crack your shell. If you can use thicker shells for this, it's good. This one's kind of thick, but it's not like as thick as some of the others are. I could have picked a thicker shell, but I don't know. I kind of wanted to use these because I thought they were pretty. Okay, so just close your loop up. And here's what we've got. And I need to stand this eye pin up because it's, or head pin up because it's, okay. So let me fix it. You may need to just bend your head pin around a little and make it look halfway decent. My loop didn't turn out the greatest, but it's okay. Alright, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take our chain, and we need a couple of very small jump rings. So let's see here, like tiny ones. I just knocked a bead off the table. Dump some more out. I have some that are really tiny, but they always seem to migrate to the very bottom of the thing there. Okay, there's a couple. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to open this guy up. We're going to take our charm and hook it to the end of our chain, just like this. Close it back. Same thing with the other one. Okay, and I need a couple more small jump rings out. Now, if you don't have seashells, I should mention, if you do not have seashells, you can buy them at the Dollar Tree. They sell them. Lots of craft stores sell them. The Dollar Tree has them pretty cheap and they're nice. Okay, and we're going to take this chain here, put the jump ring on the end, whoops, and we want to make sure that our charm hangs with the, why is this, there we go. Why is that not wanting to go in there? We want to make sure that the charm hangs with the, facing the right way. And I'm going to not put it through the loop. I'm going to put it around the stem here, or the, you know, of the, oh, my loop. Goodness, my head pin. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. I knew that was going to happen, guys. Sorry. And I hit the... Okay, actually, it will just go right on over there, and that's good. Okay, so there we have it. Now, when you put your fish hook on, it will keep that from coming off. So let me put my fish hook on. Just like this. Close it up. And I need to make sure that this loop is closed right here. So, see if I can get a grip on it and close it up without cracking my shell. Okay, alright, and there we have it. Hang him around to the front. It's just a really cute little dangly pair. Now see, I've put him on to where he's going to hang like that the entire time. I could actually glue something in there, but I'm not going to. I'm going to flip it. I thought I had it on there the right way, but obviously I did not. And actually, I may shorten this chain a little. I'm not sure that I like it this long. So let's go ahead and do that. I think I'll take the top 2 links off for sure. Okay. And I think that'll look a little bit better. Okay, now let's make sure it's going to hang right this time. Put it on just like that. It should. And again, I'm just putting it around the head pin part, not through the loop. Yeah, I like that better. So there's another cute little earring. Let me do this last one. Let me see if I can find a little bit thinner of a head pin for this one. Okay, this one should work. Put my little spacer bead on. See if I can make my loop look a little bit better on this one. I may have to go back and fix the loop on the other one. It didn't turn out all that great. Okay, it's hard though because you don't want to crack your shell, so you have to be really careful. Okay, 90-degree angle, just like that. Cut it off. And roll it back and just try to protect that shell if you can. That's part of the problem with the loops looking wonky, is just that it's not my normal way of doing it, but it's what's got to be done. I could put a bead cap on the shell and let it dry, and that would protect it a little bit, but I didn't do that. Okay. Okay, so there's a loop. Make sure it's closed up. Okay. And I needed to cut off the top couple of lengths of this chain so the other one matches. Did I do 2 lengths? Yeah, there's... Why? Oh, I know why. Because I put this one on the wrong end of the chain. This chain is Figaro chain. And so it's cut where there's a long link and a couple of short links. So I just needed to make sure that I put the charm on the right end that matched the other one, and I didn't. So now I have it right. And when I cut these, no? I must not have cut these chains the same. Okay, well, let's just cut both of these off and it'll work. It'll make it even. Okay, there we go. Yeah, now it's like that one. Alright, let's take this. Put it on here. I'm going to go ahead and put the ear wire on because that'll keep that'll keep the chain from falling off. Okay, there we go. There's our little shell, and let's hang our chain on there. Let's see if I can get this one to where it's going to hang the right way. Yep, needs to go like this. Put it right on there. Close it up. Okay, and there we have it. So I think this turns out really cute too. And these are dangly, and these little guys, these little charms will flop around. When you're wearing them, they won't. They'll stay. But yeah, and then you've got your little bead on the inside. But like I said, these are delicate. So, you know, these are too big, I think, for little girls. But even like, you know, 10 or 12-year-old little girls, you just need to warn the parents if you're selling these at craft shows, because they are kind of delicate. Okay, so let's set this pair aside. And we'll come back to these guys. They should be ready now to close the ribbon end up. Okay, so really all you want is the glue to set up a little bit in there. You take it, I hold it by this end. See if I can do this before they decide to fall apart on me. You want to kind of try to keep your chains in the right place in there, if they'll stay. And you just squish these over. Put them down really good. Some of your glue will squish out. It's okay. That's not a big deal. We'll get that off. Just do the same thing with this one. Squish them down really good. Okay. Oops. I know I'm going to hit that camera, and I'm sorry. I apologize. It's not on purpose, ever. It's just in the way, and I don't know. I've tried putting it different places. You know, it just never, it doesn't matter. It's always in the way. Alright, so there we have that. Now let's hang it on our ear hook, ear wire. Pick it up. See how it's hanging, how it dangles. Okay. There we go. Close it up. Same thing with this one. It should be easy to tell because your seam should be in the back. So, and there we have it. there's another really cute little pair. There's the inside. Oh, I thought my camera quit. And here's the outside. And this glue, you can just take it and it'll come right off the edges here. And there's another really cute pair of little seashell earrings. So different. You know, unique. Not everybody's going to have them. Alright, so let's move on to the next pair. This next pair is super easy. Okay. So for this pair, you need a head pin and some ear wires, your shells. Now these are very, very fragile little shells right here, but I've cleaned them and painted them, and I'm going to glue a couple pearls on the inside, okay? So, or actually not on the inside, I'm going to use them on the head pin. I'm sorry, I'm not thinking straight. So grab your head pins, okay? Try to get a thin one again for this, and again, actually, I think I may put a little pearl on the inside of the head pin here. Just a small one, like a 4mm. Okay, so let's put our pearl on. Just like that. Put your shell on there. Put your pearl on the outside. Now this one is a little easier to bend your loop. I mean, you still have to be careful, but you've got this pearl here that kind of protects it a little bit, so. And actually, you know what? I'm going to do something different because I want to wire wrap this. Let me grab, I'm going to use these ball head pins. They're very thin and they're great for wire wrapping. And it'll be easier anyway to do this without cracking the shell if I use this thinner head pin. So I'm just doing the same thing, but I'm putting it on this ball head pin, which is a lot thinner. Okay, now I'm going to make a wrap loop. So I want to bend it 90 degrees right here. I want to take my chain nose pliers, or round nose pliers, I always get that confused. Go up, flip my plier, go all the way around with my little loop. Okay, and here's what I've got. Then I'm going to hold it with my plier and I'm just going to wrap. And these head pins are so thin that you can do this with your hand. And I'm just going to wrap 2 or 3 times like that. And then I'm going to cut it with my cutters. Okay. And just tuck that in if you can, so it's not. And I'm going to do the same thing with the other one. Put my little bead on, put my shell on, put my bigger pearl on. Okay. Bend 90 degrees. Take my round nose pliers, put them right here, wrap up and over, twist my plier up, go completely around with my loop, grab the loop with my pliers and wrap about 3 little wraps, 2 or 3. Okay, cut it, and tuck it. Oops, so sorry. It's going to be an issue. It always is. Tuck it if it needs tucked. And this one does. Okay. And there they are. These are cute, I think. Now, one thing you have to make sure of is that your loop is facing the right way for your ear wire, and this one's not. So I'm just going to turn it a little. There we go. And I'm going to attach my ear wire. See, these are super simple. And they're so cute. And there's our little pearl on the inside. And they're so cute. They just hang Little dangly seashells. Okay, just like this. And see how quick and simple that was? But they turn out really pretty. They're just different. Okay, so there's that pair. So we'll set them aside. So we've got one more pair that we're going to do here, and these are really easy as well. So I've got these. Now these are the ones I was talking about for little girls, because look how tiny they are. Now they're not very feminine. I mean, they're kind of a darker color. They're not all that little cutesy, but that's okay. So we're going to take these, and again, I'm going to use the ball head pin that is thin, and I'm going to go right up through here, just like this. I'm going to use a tiny spacer bead. I can find where they went. I keep losing them, and I haven't even put them on. I mean, they're right here somewhere. Here they are. That's terrible. Yeah. I'm going to use a tiny little spacer bead here. Put it right on there. And we're going to make a wrap loop, just like we did on the last one. Bend it over. I do need to make sure that the ball is not going to come through there. It's not. Okay. Yeah, make sure that your hole is small enough that the ball won't come through. Wrap our loop, turn our pliers, go on around. Grab my loop, and I'm just going to wrap 2 or 3 times here. And cut it. Okay. There's that one. Same thing with the other one. Sorry. Okay, bend 90 degrees. Grab my loop, come up and over and around. Grab it with my plier and wrap it. Whoops. And these earrings are so tiny. They turn out really cute. Really cute for a little girl. And I'm going to put them on a post here so they're not too dangly as well. Let me get the wire tucked. I need to do that on this one too. Tuck that wire in. Where's it at? I saw it sticking out. There it is. Okay. There's what we have. Now, we're going to go ahead and hang it on the ear wire. So, actually, I didn't think about the fact that this is a closed. I've had some of these that were open, but this is not one of them. So I'm going to grab a lever instead, because I don't want to have to hang it on a jump ring. I had some of these ball things I thought that were open, but I remember now that I don't anymore. I use them, like you could open this little loop on these, but that one is soldered closed, and I still am seeing the wire sticking out on this. Okay, so I'll use a lever, which should it won't make it too dangly, but I don't really want to put a jump ring on there, on here, because I don't know, I just don't want to. Alright, so let's do this right. I always get these backwards. It's this way. Okay, close it up. And there they are. They're really cute. We're going to glue that crystal inside here in a minute. Okay, so there they are, hanging on our little levers. They're really cute. And so I'm going to flip them over, and right here on the inside, I'm going to glue this pretty little, I think this is a fuchsia AB, but I'm not sure. It was in my stash. I had 2 of them, and I was like, ooh, that would be pretty in there. So I'm just going to put a dab of glue inside each little one. And I'm going to stick the crystal in there. And it just gives it that little special hidden detail. So if it, somebody sees her from the back, or when she sees the back of her earring, it's got the cute little crystal in there. Okay? So that is this pair, and I think they turn out really cute. And you may need to flip them around a little. You can adjust the loop if you need to on there to where it hangs straight. This one I think is okay, but you can adjust it around there a little bit. But there these are, little lever back, teeny tiny earrings. So here's what we've got. We've got this pair. We've got this pair right here. Now these aren't going to lay right on the table, but they will hang right. Okay, we've got this pair. And we've got our danglies with the Coriana chain. So there's this one, and I had the one that I did yesterday that I thought that I filmed, but apparently I did not. So there you have it. 4 really cute little seashell pairs of earrings. And I may actually, with this one, because it's this brown color, I may glue a crystal in the front too, just to give it a little sparkle. I don't know. I'll think about it. But I think they turn out really cute. They're very unique, and people love them. They sell really well at the craft shows. So if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe. And I'm going to be back in a little bit with some seashell pendants. They're really easy to make as well, and I've got several different kinds that I'm going to show you. But yeah, you guys visit my website. I've been uploading stuff daily. Like I said, I'm going to try to get a bunch of stuff uploaded today. This Coriana chain is available for sale on my website. It comes in rose gold, gold, and platinum, and I'm going to actually be using the rose gold on the seashell pendants that I'm going to do here in a little bit. So if you want to see the rose gold, keep an eye out for that video. But yeah, that's available for sale on my website, and all this jewelry will be as well. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!